Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Mobile App Academy. This is our live building series where we show you how to build and configure your ServiceNow mobile apps on the Now platform. My name is David Ha, and I'm an outbound product manager here at ServiceNow, and I'll be your host for today's session. I also have Charity Katz with us from the Now Learning team, and she'll be here to support where she can on the Q&A. We have a lot of exciting new topics that we have for this year. This is our second academy for the new year, and we'll have lots of topics to explore for these upcoming sessions. But if you do happen to be joining us for the first time, welcome to our Mobile App Academy. We do host these on the last Tuesday of every month at 10 a.m. Pacific, in which our recordings will be posted onto YouTube on the ServiceNow community channel. Something I want to make note of is our mobile research panel. If you haven't already signed up, this is a great opportunity to influence our roadmaps through a very short, quick survey. If you scan the QR code there, you'll have an opportunity to share your thoughts, opinions, and insights directly with our mobile research team as we go into, I believe, Zurich planning and beyond. Um, we also even give you the option to dive even deeper with us with our product teams. We offer one-to-one interviews if that is something of interest. But what's most important to us is, if you run into any roadblocks, or have a strong opinion for new features or enhancements around mobile, this is really your opportunity to have your voice heard as we organize our roadmaps. Hello, Aaron from Dallas. Welcome. And again, you can just take a screenshot of this QR code or feel free to scan this and feel free to um, access this at any point in time. I will also bring this up again at the end of the presentation. I believe there's one more. Yes, it's going to be the mobile app builder research opportunity. If you are a heavy user on App Builder, um, we have an open study around this where we're looking for admins and developers who would like to contribute a 90-minute session with us in which it will be a one-on-one that will be conducted like a usability test. We basically give you a demo instance, and then we'll give you a couple tasks, and then we'll get your feedback on the experience. And our goal with this really is to improve our mobile app building experience for all of our customers. You'll have a direct impact on our mobile builder roadmap as we look into Zurich and beyond. So if this is something you're interested in, feel free to scan the QR code or just take a screenshot. Hey, Ashley from Reno. Okay, so um, just pointing out a few resources that we have available on community. If you're new, definitely recommend that you bookmark our community site where you can find things like our essential training blog and mobile FAQs. If you're looking for more hands-on training, we do also have labs and now learning courses available. And of course, our playlist to all of our previous app academies, where you can find sessions like getting started with App Builder or how to build a custom app. Hey, Surikar. Um, hello from India. And just to get us started with today's topic, we will be diving into a very popular question that I've been hearing a lot. It's whether your organization needs both of our mobile apps or if you'd like to consolidate into a single one. Um, and just to quickly review today's schedule, I will start with a quick overview into, our apps offering, and then we'll jump into the exercise and wrap it up with some Q&A. But overall, today's session is going to be a pretty basic one. If you're new to mobile, this might be an interesting thing to explore, but if you're more of a advanced developer and admin and you already rolled out your mobile apps, then this might not be as helpful. But let's get started. So just quick intro into ServiceNow's mobile offering. But if you're not familiar, we do have a suite of mobile apps and development tools that allows your organizations to build and deploy mobile first experiences. And we really focus on polishing these experiences for both our agent personas and our employee personas. And so we have the agent app, which is available in the public app store. And depending what you're entitled to, you'll be able to access and be able to install any one of these plugins, in which it will activate an out-of-the-box experience, which you can see in one of these screenshots. All these experiences cater to the fulfiller experience or the agent user. So you have experiences from incident management to field service, asset management, customer case, security incident, and so much more. These are just some of the top use cases that you'll find on the agent app. On the Now Mobile side, these are some of the use cases that you can activate for your employees. From a core capability perspective, Now Mobile was intended to replicate all the things that your employees needed from a service portal or from an employee center. And then various other departments happen to add their other popular use cases to this app as well, which are optional to install if you're entitled to them. So you'll find things like walk-up experience from ITSM, onboarding from HR, asset reservation from workplace service delivery, and so much more. And again, if you're asking, is mobile free to use? It is a free platform capability, but depending on what you're already entitled to on the platform, is what you'll get access to on mobile. And so if you're an HR customer, then you'll have access to these HR out-of-the-box plugins. Um, okay. This slide, you'll find the full list of all of the out-of-the-box experiences available today. These are all easy plug and play experiences. So what that means is as soon as you install the plugin on your instance, they'll be ready to use right out of the box. If there is further configuration that you want to do, totally possible, right? With our app builder, you can add in your own data, create new screens, apply any missing policies, create actions that are important to your users. All that is possible. And so this is kind of where I'll introduce the topic for today. Can I use a single app for all of my experiences? This is surprisingly still a question that comes up a lot for new customers. And so we've actually documented this on our mobile FAQ. And there's a lot of similar questions that are related to it as well. But to answer this simply, yes, you can. If I go to the previous slide again, um, you can think of our clients or our apps simply as containers, right? So although when you first install the ITSM agent plugin, for example, it will automatically populate your agent app because that was the intended build and design. However, you can also use mobile app builder to take apart this app and move specific components to other apps if you want. And so if you just wanted to use ITSM as a template and then pull all these other workflows into it, that's totally possible. Or if you wanted to use FSM as a template and then pull ITSM in there, again, totally possible. Um, this also means that configurations can move between clients. So if I wanted to consolidate my agent use cases into my Employee Now mobile app, that is also possible. At this point in release, there are no feature differences between our two clients. They're both built on the same code base, and so you can rearrange use cases however you like. We did have some gaps in the past that prevented us from being able to do that, but now we are at a point where, either app, they are identical. And so, for example, if 90% of your use cases live on the Now mobile app, and you simply want to pull over a couple of use cases from your Asian app, so that you can consolidate to a single app, then that is possible. I'll take a quick second to answer questions here. Any feedback from clients around agent persona? Like, can't have them working overtime, or is it perceived that is expected since it's offered via an app? Um, I mean, it kind of just depends on your use case, right? And also the behaviors of your employees. For field service, for example, having the mobile app doesn't necessarily that you're using the app outside of work. These are These are agents who are outside in the field during work hours, and sometimes they're going to remote locations where they'll need offline access. And so it's really detrimental that they have access to our mobile apps to be able to complete their work on time. But generally, I haven't really heard any question related to that. Question from Ashley: Will you be discussing any capabilities from customers using a mobile application? Example, I'm a company using CSM for case management, and I want my customers to access a mobile app to submit cases when they can't be at a desktop to submit via CSM. Um, Today I won't go specifically into CSM, but we do have a lot of mobile app academies that we've covered in the past. And so, um, if you're simply looking for like what is currently available for CSM today from both an agent and now mobile perspective, I would recommend that you reach out to your account team to reach out to their product team. So there are experts who have, built the CSM app and they know the roadmap, what's coming in the future, what's currently existing today, and they should be able to help you with that conversation. From our app academies, we try to train you from a platform perspective, in which any skills or learnings that you learn from today you should be able to cater to your own use cases. But to answer your question, we will not be specifically exploring CSM today. Okay. But with all that being said, if you ask, how can you consolidate the apps into a single? How do you go about doing that? It's very simple. And so, because this question comes up so many times, I figured I'd spend an academy just showing you how to do it. So for our exercise today, I'll show you just how simple it is to rearrange a few things. First, I'll show you how you can consolidate multiple use cases that live all on the Agent app. Or maybe there are things that live on several tabs and you just want to consolidate into a single landing screen. So we will take apart the ITSM app and then we'll rearrange everything so that it all lives on a single app. I wanted to move some things from FSM into ITSM, but the use cases just didn't make sense. And so what I'll do instead is, I'll show you an ITSM app that has two tabs and I'll consolidate into a single. Okay. For the second example, maybe my intention is to consolidate use cases from both the agent app and the employee app. And after digging around and doing some discovery, maybe I realized that for my organization, most of my use cases live on the Now mobile app, and I just want to pull over a couple things from the Agent app. And so it doesn't make sense for my organization to roll out two apps because there's probably going to be low adoption for the one that barely has any use cases. So what I just want to do is consolidate those use cases onto a single one, and then that'll be my primary app that I'll distribute and promote to my org. And that'll be a lot more manageable, right? And so we are going to use the Now mobile app as my base. And then I'm going to pull over a couple things from the ITSM app as an example. Okay, so we will dive into those two things. Let's go ahead and switch over to my instance and we will build this real quick. Let me reshare my screen. Share screen, desktop. Okay, so you should be able to see my instance on the right and then my mobile app on the left. So let's go ahead and open up the agent app. What I have here is my is an out-of-the-box experience for ITSM. This allows you to manage your instance, check out your on-call schedule. They also have a tab for my team where it shows you a dashboard of some of the KPIs that might be relevant to you. Let's say that I don't want to have two tabs. I want to be able to consolidate into a single tab, right? And let's say that this second tab was actually built by a completely different plugin. Maybe it was owned by FSM. Doesn't matter who built it. Anything that lives on this app can easily be moved around. And that's the most important concept that I want you to understand today. Okay. And so what I'm going to do instead, because I don't want to touch these out of the box apps, I'm going to create a new tab, a completely blank new tab, and I'm going to borrow some of these things that already exist. So let's say that I want to pull over my instance. I also want to pull over all these other screens below this. And then from the My Teams tab, I just want to simply show my team dashboard at the top. So three things on a new tab. I'll pull over my instance, this second section of screens here, and then also the team dashboard. So let's jump into App Builder. And the first thing we're going to need to do is create a new tab. Um, and typically you would, to make things easier to migrate later, it's ideal that you build things in your own custom scope application. But for me to speed through things, I'm just going to build things on the I'll just build it on ITSM. But just know that in an ideal situation and environment, you really want to create it all in your own custom scope. Okay, so I'm going to build a new tab on the scoped application. Um, and I can get there in a couple ways. I can either go to all mobile records and look up the tab, navigation tab, right? Or if I needed more of a visual, because I'm newer to mobile, I would go up here and click on mobile app configs, open up agent, and then I can kind of scroll down this hierarchy to get to where I need to be, right? Um, where I want to be is the navigation bar, which hosts all of my tabs. And then if I jump into the correct scope, I should have access to configure. So something a little funny here is notice how when I'm trying to, once I'm in the correct scope, I'm not able to create a new navigation tab here. And so the workaround is actually to open up your platform um, page. And you'll see that you can create a new tab from here. Um, Once you do that, you can go back to Mobile App Builder. If you don't like that experience, you can also go, you know, also go to all mobile records and look up navigation tab. And then this will also allow you to create a new tab. So just a funny little workaround that we'll make sure to get fixed in the future. So let's go and create a new tab. I am going to want a launcher tab. And then we will call this home. What launcher? We're going to be creating a completely new one. Call this home. I'm going to put parentheses on it, MAA for Mobile App Academy, just to make sure in case there are multiple records that have home, I'll know which one exactly it is. We'll name it home. We'll click save. Before I save, it needs a icon. So let's give it a home icon. I think either one of those should work, or the same. Okay. So now I have a completely empty tab, basically. And here I can start filling things in. Instead of building things from scratch, I can easily just pull things over that have already been built. So for example, this entire header, this with the search, let's say that I just want the exact same search for me to be able to look up instance, change task, and more. I'll go down to search, and I'll simply choose the existing search configuration. I know that this lives on ITSM. So if I look up ITSM, this is the one they built, and I can just reuse that. Okay. Um, Underneath that, I want to start creating some launcher sections. So I don't actually have to create a new one. I can pick and choose the ones I want. So at the very top, I think I want my team dashboard. So let's go and select that. My team dashboard at the top. Um, and then underneath that, I can put my incidents. I don't think it's actually called my instance. Maybe it is. We're just gonna guess. In case you pick the wrong ones, the easy way to figure out what exactly it's named is, you'll have to open up Mobile App Builder, jump into the scope, look up, the tab name, and then from there you'll figure out the screen. But just from working experience, I think these are the names that I'm familiar with. And then this one, even though you can't see the name, if you were to go through that navigation, you'll find that it's called Other Work. Give it a second to load. Okay. So it's always best practice to make sure that you're applying an order number. That way it knows where to put itself on your landing page. And so I want my team dashboard at the very top. So we'll set an order of 100. I want this section as number 2, which is, no, sorry, I want my instance as number 2. So we'll set this as 200 and then lastly 300. And then we'll save. So if I refresh, you're going to notice that nothing popped up yet. And the reason for that is because when I created a new tab on mobile records, we didn't quite associate where this tab is going to live. And so I'll have to go back to mobile app configs, open up mobile agent, and then go back to navigation bar, jump into the correct scope. And then now we'll choose that, new tab that we just created. So we're basically telling it that, this new navigation tab that we just created, we want it to live in our agent configurations. So let's select, I believe we call it home. And here's the issue. Well, thankfully, we know that we created a home under ITSM, so this should be ours. Save, refresh. And there it is. So now I have a completely new tab that consolidated 2 different tabs. And I've barely done any work, but I have a working landing page that has everything that I need for my ITSM work personas. Now, if I wanted to, pick and choose specific screens that I want to delete or add in, all that's super easy, but I just want to show you just how easy it is to shift things around between different scoped applications, even within similar applications, and just be able to pick and choose what you want. One other thing I'll do here is I'll show you how to borrow like a function. Let's say that on the ITSM my work, I want to pull over create instance and put it in my quick actions. Since it's the same function that I want, I don't have to create a new one. So I'll simply, first I need to figure out what exactly this record name is called. This is what you see here, create instant. This is actually the title of the function. And so this won't actually give us the correct name. And so what you'll have to do is find it. So I know that this function currently lives on ITSM. Right, so let's open up ITSM. I know that it lives in the My Work tab or My Work launcher screen. So we'll look up My Work. And then I also know that it lives under quick actions. And here is the action that we want to borrow. Out of the box, I found that there was 2, but this first one doesn't do anything. And so I'm going to ignore this. I tested it and it's broken. Don't know why it's there. It might just be a bug on my instance, but the second one is what we want. And so we'll open this out. And so you'll see that the display label is open in Instant, but the actual name of the function we want is called this. And sometimes they'll actually ask for the function name rather than the function instance. So depending on what it's asking for, I'll also want to make note of this. This is called incident creation my work. Okay. So now I can go back into my home tab. So we'll open up home and then we'll bring this over to our quick actions. So we'll scroll down. It's asking for a quick action function instance. It wouldn't let me choose an existing one, so I guess we'll just create a new one. So we'll call this home. Quick actions. Display label quick actions. And then good thing we took note of what that function name was called. And this is what we will borrow. Create incident. Oh, what was it called? Incidents. Incident creation. My work. And it's going to be the second one to get it to work. Okay, so now at this point, I should be able to save. And I should have a working function on my home tab or on my quick actions. Oh, the reason why it's showing up as an ellipsis is because I didn't give it an icon. But there it is. So now I have a working create instead. Okay. If you want to change this icon, you just go back to here. So notice how this icon's empty. I can quickly give it a some sort of action icon. I'll borrow this one here and click save. And that should update. And there we go. So that was a very quick example of how you can consolidate tabs within the same app. Now, what if you want to pull over workflows between two apps? For the second example, I'm going to use Now Mobile as my base app. And let's say, I still want the same integrity of this app. I don't want to, change it so much that it looks bad. Maybe and there's just a couple use cases that I want to bring over. And let's say that I want it to display it under quick links. Let's say that the most important, let's say that the user for this is, it's going to be ITSM fulfillers, but they are also an employee. And that's why, employees, as an employee, they'll still need access to their items, and all these other things. But, because they don't want to use two apps, might as well pull over the important use cases that also live on the Asian side. Okay. And specifically what they are, let's bring over, let's just bring over my instance and we will convert it into an icon instead, just to make this look appealing. And then let's say that we also want the create incident function, and we'll pull that over. Um, and I'll also pull it over as an icon that lives under quick links. Although I can put it in the quick actions at the top. I just want people to be aware that you can also put functions inside of an icon that lives on your on these sections here. And this helps with discoverability. Sometimes, a small little button at the top right isn't as easily discoverable. And so sometimes when you look at your engagement of users actually tapping on that button is low. And so if you want better engagement, sometimes it's better to, use these bigger icons. Okay, so let's go and do that now. First things first, let's go ahead and start from scratch. Let's open up App Builder again. And this time, since we're editing the Now Mobile app, we're going to jump into the Now Mobile scope. And this home tab is called Homepage. So we'll open that up. And I won't have to do too much here, right? Because we're simply just bringing over two things. And we're putting it under quick links. So we're not really building anything new here. We're just simply going under finding where this quick links exist. which is right here, and we'll open that up. And then we'll simply create two new destinations that will point to creating a new instance as well as showing me my open instance. So I will need to create a new destination. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a function icon section. The reason why I have to create a new one is because this does not already exist, right? Because on the agent app, this actually lives as a quick action. It's not an icon section. And so I'll just create a new that. And then we'll name this create instance icon section. And then this will ask for what the function pre-existing function is, which I believe was called incident creation. It's going to be the second one here. And then it's simply just going to ask for an icon. Might be loading because my internet been having trouble on that recently. Or you'd also have the ability to upload your own images as well. We do have a mobile app academy that shows you how to do that configuration. If you ever want to upload your own image or icon, when dealing with icon sections here, that is totally possible. But for the sake of this example, just to speed things up, I'm just gonna pick an existing one. Okay, so we'll click save, and I should be able to see my new icon. It's currently a different color, but you can easily go in and whoops, you can easily go in and change that if you want, but I'll go and skip that. The last thing I want to do is add my third use case under quick links, which is show me um my instance. And hopefully it's just called my instance. So it might just be as easy as that. Let's see what happens when we pull over my instance. Oh, it doesn't exist. Okay, so we'll just create a new one. Um, also want to point out that you can also launch an entire launcher section as well. This is totally possible. Um, let's say that, um, you have your now mobile employee experience already here, and you also already have your agent ITSM experience. And not to try to consolidate the two, you want to keep it as simple as what if I just had a button that takes me to this entire landing page? Um, so let me actually show you that now. I think it's a pretty cool experience. So I'm going to create a new launcher. We'll call this ITSM launcher. And it's going to pull over the My Work tab from ITSM. And then we'll just give it an icon and it should work. So I don't know, maybe give it a wrench. So now if I refresh on my now mobile app, this will take me to my pre-existing IT7 page. Okay. So this is just another way that you can kind of segregate your different experiences depending on how you want to display it to your users. So maybe to some this makes more sense. To others, maybe you just want to simply consolidate into a single page. Okay. Last thing is let's create that. Let's go back and create a new destination for my screen to show instance. My instance. Hopefully it's just called my instance. Yes, perfect. And then we'll give it a icon. Um, my instance icon. And there we go. We should be refresh and it should show me. There it is. Okay. So that was a very quick example on how you can consolidate different experiences all into, either a single app or a single tab. It's really up to you. You can easily move around different components and so forth. Any questions? How can we change the color of the icons? I can show that real quick. So, and we do, if you want to see more icon configuration type of stuff, I do have an academy on the playlist that you can check out as well. So here, if I open up the icon and edit the scope, it's going to ask for, um, actually, I'm going to choose a different icon. This might be a bad example. But you'll know that in the other academy, there's different types of icon types, and that's why you'll see different values and things here. But just to configure a simple one, I'm going to go over to, let's try ITSM Launcher. This is foreground color, which doesn't apply. Here we go. Okay. So I believe, let's see, shape, font name, value, font color, font color. So let's change, no, not font, sorry. What I would do first is go to ServiceNow mobile icons on product docs. And then of these docs, it should give you a list of all the different types of values. It's been a while since I've done this, so I forgot exactly which value I need to configure. Please font icons. Anyways, if I were to tweak one of these values, it should change the color. There's just so many things to pick from, and so what I would recommend is check out the documentation and try to map it back to your configuration. And you'll figure it out. Okay. Any other questions? Um, uh, what are you using to see the mobile view on your Mac? Are you publishing in real time? Is this a mock view? Oh, yeah, this is real time. I'm showing you how to build things in real time and configure things in real time. I'm using a MacBook, and so cool thing about MacBook is you can use QuickTime Player. And when I plug in my phone to my MacBook, I can simply display my entire mobile screen on it. So this is through the use of QuickTime Player and a MacBook. There are other things, third-party apps that you can use that if you're not using MacBook, I would just recommend.
Yeah. Reflector is one that's pretty commonly used, um, that I believe works with both Mac and Windows. But if you have like an Android device, um, that's a good option is Reflector. And also on Android, there's an app called Screen Stream over HTTP, something along those lines. And so basically, it gives you an IP address that you put into your browser, and then that is a reflection of your phone. So you can use that with an Android on either Mac or Windows.
Perfect. Um, Another question asking, can we add image or company logo on the top? Depends on where you mean by top. Um, if you're referring to the Now mobile app and there was a banner at the top, you can easily change that. That's just um that is configured using mobile campaigns and banners.
And did we not get the one kind of two above that? How can we change the color of the icons?
Yeah, we did.
Um,
I didn't know exactly which
see
value
that.
it was, but I did point them in the right direction.
Okay, sorry about that. I missed it somehow.
Yes, and I do agree, Mike. Changing icons and colors should be much easier than it is, but I think this specific configuration was set on a lower priority, and so we never got around into improving that experience. There were just
Yeah.
so many other features that we wanted to improve first, like building a list, building a function, and things like that.
And you can theme the entire app to essentially have colors that match your company using the themes within ServiceNow that you've defined. So the UI elements are going to be really specific to wanting to call out specific things like something being critical or whatnot. But if you just want to kind of theme the whole app, you can do that with mobile theming as well.
Yep. And again, in the future, we do plan on making this much easier. So back when we were using Mobile Studio, it should be as simple as clicking on the icon that you see and then picking the color. Nikesh, any applications similar to QuickTimes? Yes. So like Sherry said, there's also like Reflector. Okay, so I think that wraps up questions. One last thing I want to cover is so everything that I've talked about so far was in relation to using the public apps that you find in, the public App Store, iOS App Store, as well as the Google Play Store. But what if you're using mobile publishing and you're creating custom version apps? It's the exact same process, except when you'll just see different types of names. And I'll just share a new screen to demonstrate what I mean by this. Um, Need to move Zoom over to this desktop and then share. So again, when you're, using mobile publishing and you've created a new app, um, when you go to mobile app configs, instead of putting things into mobile agent or now mobile, you'll actually have your own app name, right? And so if you want to pull things over from the public agent app and move it to your app, that's all just as easily done, similar to what we did today. Okay, so that's just something I want to point out. That if you are a mobile publishing customer or you're considering using mobile publishing, moving things into your custom apps are just as easy as configuring things on agent or now mobile. Okay. Last thing I want to present is um share screen. Okay. I just want to pull up the QR code again. Again, another great opportunity for you guys to influence our roadmaps just through this mobile quick survey through our mobile research panel. Feel free to scan this QR code. It doesn't take more than 2 minutes. Let us know if you want to share your thoughts or opinions or insights through your own mobile app experiences at ServiceNow. We would love to hear what you're working on, what's been maybe a struggle, things that you want to see in the future.